All right, folks, I believe I'm live. And I'm going live because I want to give you an update on Ozone, Otho Wallace trial. It actually begins on Monday. They've had the jury selection and they're set to go on Monday. This is important because a lot of you have given, and a lot of you will continue to give towards his legal defense. And I'm so proud of this movement that's taken place. Usually, when a black person is encountered or is approached by a police officer, a lot of times we end up dead. In this instance, Ozone is alive. There was some situation that took place during that encounter. The police officer ended up shot and then later um, passed in the hospital. Now, I believe everybody should follow this case because, again, we don't know what took place. This trial, it'll bring that out, which is awesome. So I can't wait to really start to hear what's going on. The trial will not be live streamed from what I understand. I hope that changes, but I don't know. But we will, people are in place attending the trial on a daily basis, and they will give us updates. And again, I'm so very proud of what's taking place. Um, and again, in most times when these things take place, there is no structure in place. We don't have legal situations. Not even Ben Crump, that type of person, wanted to take on this case. Those people are usually, they take cases that's when someone dies, it's kind of easy to get a bag, and that's not the situation here. Nobody wants a bag. I want my brother Ozone to come home to his children. He's an innocent man. He does not need to spend not one more day in jail. From everything that I've seen and everything that I know, self-defense is the way I see it. But I'm not a judge. I'm not a jury. That's going to come out in trial. Now, what I was saying earlier, the reason his case is important, it's important for a bunch of reasons. But two, it'll allow the world to see what really took place. Two, the American legal system is on trial. Not only Ozone, not only Otho, the American justice system. Black people need to know, true or false, yes or no, if this racist American government is able, in the court of law, to not be racist. You understand what I'm saying? And you as a black person need to know that. And it's simple. If we can trust the law, then great. If not, then we got to figure something else out. Because too many of our people have died due to racism, due covert racism. You understand what I'm saying? Now, people have gotten together and created the People Legal Aid Project, and it started in 2021, primarily due to this case. And people who say they're pro-black and they be one and they down for the cause, this case is very hard for a lot of people for a bunch of reasons. One of the main reasons is the system of racism, white supremacy. It splits black people down the middle. And again, I'm gonna say this as straightforward as I can. It divides you into a field Negro and a house Negro, down the middle. The system of racism, white supremacy. And I'm learning, depending on the situation and how technical and serious the case is, a person who is very B1 can become a house nigga. And this case alone shows you this. Again, there are a bunch of down for the cause, powerful black organizations, people, and channels who say they're down for black people. But in this one instance, they're very silent on this subject. And I believe the reasons is a lot of people have police officers in their families. That's one reason. Two, a lot of people who do have influence, notoriety, they don't want to shake up things too much. If you, in my humble opinion, are too black, then you scare people off. And if you feel that way, then you don't need to be on this team. No way. You have to be unapologetically black. Now, this is simply about fairness. This is simply about the legal system saying what the legal system is supposed to do. Justice is supposed to be blind. It's supposed to be fair. You understand? It's supposed to balance out. Now, usually people don't have the money. Black people don't have the money for a good legal defense. And again, the PLAP, People's Legal Aid Project, black people came together in a crowdfunding situation to ensure that our brother Ozone gets a fair trial. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the system of racism, white supremacy is not about being fair to black people. You know, they put their thumb on the scales as often as they can and as many times as they can to make sure it's unfair. But due to your efforts, and please continue to give, go to othal.org, and I'm gonna double check that. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but go to othal.org and continue to give, because it's not over. I think we're right at the cusp, at the end. The Legal Defense Fund is God. I mean, I'm gonna just say roughly roundabout, it's over $150,000 that's needed to cover the legal expenses. There's 3, possibly 4 attorneys that are on the team, and you all have paid. I'm a great deal toward that goal, but we're not at the finish line by no stretch of the imagination. I believe we still need. Well, matter of fact, I'll turn this around and show you, if I can. We're here, and the goal is to get over that, to continue the effort to bring Ozone home safely to his family. Now, again, I have, me personally, I have very little confidence in this racist American justice system, with good reason. I see with my own eyes what takes place. But if America's going to continue to be America, and if America's going to continue to try to police black people with the illusion that they're fair, then they're going to have to prove themselves to be fair in this case. There are a lot of eyes on this case. Even people who are not boisterous or saying anything, who are scared for whatever reason, they're still watching. And I strongly hope those people who are silent, hopefully you are still donating to help bring this man home, because again, it is innocent until proven guilty across the board. Now, because of the system of racism, white supremacy, all black people, no exceptions, we are all, to some degree, white supremacists. The system teaches us to be white supremacists. What am I saying? What do I mean? We're taught to put white people on a pedestal. You may think I'm tripping, but I'm going to prove it to you very quickly. We were given from very young ages to believe and to worship a blonde-haired, blue-eyed savior in the sky. You do not get any higher on the level of superiority than a white God. That alone should tell you all you need to know. I don't care if you're a religious person. I've had my battles with religion. I grew up in the Christian faith like every other black person in America. And I've learned, and it was not easy, that all religions, no matter the religion, are tools of indoctrination. There's a term called all roads lead to Rome. What I've come to understand and realize is that phrase simply meant this: all religions lead to the Roman Catholic religion. Okay? You can join my channel And I talk about some of this stuff on different videos. It's not about that right now. Right now, we need to get Ozone Wallace a fair trial. The crowdfunding efforts that have taken place are awesome. I want y'all to keep it going because his legal defense team is a good team, and they're working hard to ensure that the legal system does what it's supposed to do. You know, and I think again we're still quite a ways off from the mark. So again, othal.org, othal.org. Go to that site. All your donations go directly to the lawyers. There's no hidden hands. Everything is above board. Everything is on that site. It'll show you who donates, when they donated, how much, and even if you want to do anonymous donations, that's a function there. And when you donate them, it's tax deductible. At the end of the year, you can write this off. So a lot of people who have big money, like celebrities and actors and people like this, they should donate because, again, it's a tax benefit for them. And they should also want to donate because it's about getting our brother a fair trial. You know, even if you have police officers in your family like me, you still as a black person know that an encounter with a race soldier, no matter the color of the race soldier, because we're all indoctrinated to be white supremacist individuals, a lot of us move like white supremacists. We make decisions about our own people like white supremacists. Like those cops who've just recently been put in jail for murdering their gaps, like 4 or 5 black officers. I call them white supremacist attack dogs that killed that young man. And you see what happened to them. There was no drawn out trial for years. No, these folks were quickly arrested, quickly charged, and put in jail. The system of racism, white supremacy, breaks its bootlicking tools. All black people need to know that, because if you think that you're helping this white supremacist system by being quiet, by being docile, by being a bootlick, your days are numbered. You will be dealt with. They're going to deal with you. They're going to get rid of you. That's their system. That's how it works, you know. And I do apologize. The channel has a different look. I'm not a very tech savvy person. I was trying to go live and I ended up changing the photo, so I had to put another photo. And again, it ain't about being tech savvy. It's about just getting shit done. And I'm very proud of you all because you are getting shit done. You're donating, no matter it's $1, $5, $10, $100, $1,000. Continue to do it. Do it right now. Today, make it your personal goal to go to othal.org, othal.org, and donate $1. If 1,000 people donate $1, that's $1,000. Donate $5. 1,000 or so people donate $5. That's $5,000. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's a concerted effort by all of us to ensure that this brother gets a fair trial. Ozone is down for his people, you know. And I don't want to get all off into this whole story. You can go to my channel, subscribe, hit the bell, and hit all, and get some understanding of how I met him. You understand what I'm saying? And to know that he is down for his people. And he's a good brother. He's got, you know, children who do not need to see him in jail not one other day. You know. I'm so very proud of each and every one of you who has given, and who will give, and who will continue to give until this man is free. Now, what I mean when I say this United States government is on trial, what does that mean? What does the end result look like? If they drop the ball on this case, what they're doing is opening a can of worms that I don't think America's ready for. I don't think they're ready for. Because think about this. If black people can truly do everything possible to get a fair trial, pay for expensive lawyers, go to trial, see all the evidence, and this racist system still finds some trick. I don't call them tricks. I call it I'm white and I say so. to put an innocent black man in jail, then guess what's going to happen? The black mind is going to say, hey, whoa, wait a minute. I will no longer be policed by a racist organization who cannot treat me fairly because of the color of my skin. You know, I will no longer be under the jurisdiction and control of a racist government that cannot treat me like a man. You understand? And eventually that will start to spread throughout the minds of all black people. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I know it's going to go well. This brother needs to come home because that's just the way the law is set up. And if they screw that up, then that's on them. Black men and women are going to move accordingly after that, is all I'm saying. You know, this ain't a threat. This is a goddamn promise. You think I'm going to sit still and just act like everything normal? If you prove to me in real time that you are so racist, that you yourself are above the laws that you created, and you're going to put that shit in my face like that, and I'm not going to do anything about it, I'll withdraw from the system. It's no different than voting. Black Americans require repair. We require that you repair us for all the hell that you've placed us through on this continent. And because you're unwilling to do this through the political system, Joe Biden, Harris, that means that we cannot continue to support the voting process. We just won't participate. And we'll see where you stand after that. You understand? What most people have to understand, what most black people need to understand, is that voting is a business transaction. It's not personal. You vote for the people who have your best interests at heart. Period. That could be a Republican, it could be Democrat, it could be independent. But you do not put anybody in power who do not guarantee you your issues will be dealt with. And they deal with them. What am I saying? How do I know what I'm talking about is true? The LGBT community, not a large voting bloc, but they put their attention behind people like Barack Obama and all the other Democrats who pushes their issues, and guess what? Their issues are met with. They have laws in place. They have federal protections in place. The Asian community, same thing. These people are not large voting blocks. In fact, I don't think they vote at all, to be true, honest with you. And they don't have to be. They understand that they're not going to give attention to a party who ain't going to give them what they require. Black people should be no different. We don't vote because our grandparents voted a certain way. We don't vote because they trick us into making us think another party is going to put us all in slavery. No. We're going to put whoever in office, Republican, Democrat, or Independent, who's going to guarantee, not promise, guarantee us reparations. Because that's all black people trying to hear right now. If they don't do that, we're going to withdraw from the system. Just like what I'm talking to you about this court system. We will withdraw from this court system. What does that look like? We'll start to police ourselves. You understand? We got problems in our neighborhood. We'll work it out amongst ourselves. We won't call the police. You know? We won't call the police. We won't deal with this racist governmental system on their terms. And eventually, this government is going to realize they don't have the power that they thought they had. Their only true power is fear. Truth be told. You know, black people are peaceful people. We've been mentally brain fucked into believing that we're evil and savage and just thuggish and all that. No, all of that is white supremacy advertisement telling you who they want you to think you are. If you have not had a chance, please, I adore you to please watch the movie Who Cloned Tyrone. That movie basically is telling people, and I've seen a lot of people who try to explain that movie, and nobody really gets it right 100%. What that movie is trying to tell you is that certain behaviors and characteristics of certain people are white supremacist ploys to advertise to you on a daily basis in real time that we are less than, other than. I give you an example. The main character was a dope dealer, a young black fella who was a dope dealer. Another character was a pimp. Then you had few other characters, prostitutes, so forth and so forth. Now, simply, it's not some big mind thing. You just got to take out it ain't complex, and it's not about real clones. It's about the system creating real-time personalities who they promote heavily in the, just doing things like YouTube channels. Post, these people get money. Your local dope dealer is he's selling dope, so he's making money. That person will probably go in and out of jail a few times, and then eventually die or end up in. But another person will come right behind him. That personality is fed by this system, and that personality will end up in your neighborhood. A few different people, basically doing the same thing. It's no different than you see rap stars, and the ones who are like these clone type characteristics are the ones who get the most play, who gets the most airtime. The system pushes those people onto us heavily. What is that one rapper? He's LBGT fellow who was real popular about a year ago. Now he's not that popular. Nas X. You could tell he was a governmental project because he didn't have real fan base. He was artificially put out there to help push the LBGT agenda, and that's what they do. Just look at a few of these characters. You got the Sexy Red and the Suki Hana character. Again, these are character personalities in real time that pushes that image on our young black children so that they start to follow these personalities and characters and then try to emulate them. The more they emulate them, the more it destroys our future neighborhoods, generations, and families. And it's all artificial. Nobody wants to be like that, but if they tell young children that this is a way to make money quickly, the young children will go down that route. I know when I was a kid and I started to see dope dealers make money, and pimps, in my brain, a small part, thank goodness I was pulled up out of that, is I thought that might be a way to go. You see how that works? It's simple mathematics. 1 + 1 = 2. But again, watch that movie and just take out all the weirdness and just understand that what they're trying to tell you is that the government is behind these characters that create personalities in real time in our neighborhoods, from the pork chop preacher to the pimps, the drug dealers, and the prostitutes in our neighborhood. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Now, I didn't mean to get off on a tangent like that. I just kind of want people to understand how important Ozone's case is to all of us. Even the people who are on the fence and don't quite understand, this is your moment to get caught up, to understand that we all deserve a fair trial. That's it. Simple. No matter what. A fair trial. You see? Now, again, if America cannot produce a fair trial under these circumstances, where our community has come together in a crowdfunding effort, created the People's Legal Aid Project to help find and fund attorneys for this innocent man, then this racist white supremacist system can no longer hide the fact that they are white supremacists and racist, And to me, like I say, it's gonna go well for my brother, because if it don't, then it ain't gonna go well for the United States going forward, because not only do they have hell going on in all the other parts of the world, you got other continents that's not really trusting the Americas as far as their dollar go. They trying to get away from it, and rightfully so. How is it that American can go to a continent like Africa and say, hey, we'll give you money, but we want you to accept the LBGTYGX philosophy, when that's not part of those people culture. You can't go to another continent and force your way of life on those people. That's actually illegal. That's illegal as far as what do they call it, the maritime laws. People are sovereign on their continents, but they can be persuaded by sanctions and money. And that's what America is doing. And it's evil, and it should not be. Now, I'm going to tell you, that agenda ain't what we think it is. It's not about fairness, and it's not about pride. It's really about population control. The white world has a problem. And that problem is there's too many black people being born, and it's not enough white people being born. So the whole problem is they have to try to fix this. If they can get our numbers reduced, then maybe they feel like it can help them a little bit. I don't know if you notice or not, but white people are in negative birth rates. That means that more of them are dying every year than being born. And that's by nobody's fault, but just pure nature, in my understanding. But again, that's a huge problem for them, And these people have been talking about depopulation for a long time. Bill Gates mentioned it. Hell, Vice President Harris just accidentally let it slip out her mouth in a live speech that she did. You can find that on YouTube somewhere. So again, I want you people to be completely open-minded, and I need your eyes wide open when it comes to understanding that you are in a system of racism, white supremacy. You have been a victim since this system started. It ain't never ended since it started. But we are under the illusion that there's not a problem because we have freedoms. Like we can get in our car and go to the grocery store. We can go to schools that we choose and we can afford to go to. We have an artificial thinking of being free, but we're not truly free when a man like Ozone could be approached illegally by a race soldier. Something goes wrong, he ends up in jail, and now he's fighting for his life. If somebody approached me the way he was approached, it's a good chance I'm going to defend myself, and whatever happens, happens. That's called law of human nature. You have the right to preserve your own life if you are threatened. Simple. But you telling me now that I'm black and a person who approached me is white, I don't have that same right? No, that's called racism. That's called racism. Because again, in the system of law, that scale is there for a reason. That Lady Justice has a blindfold on, meaning she don't see color. And she weighs the evidence, supposedly equal. You feel me? And so each one of us know that all of that is bullshit. The laws are not fair. In fact, they only have the resemblance of fairness so that they could keep their order. But once they slip here or there, and the truth shows more and more black people are going to wake up and say, hey, whoa, I'm putting way too much trust in this organization called the United States of America to continue to give these people this kind of energy. I'm going to have to withdraw from their systems. I will no longer vote in these things. I will no longer support the military, by sending my innocent babies off to fight their illegal wars. I will no longer send my children to be race soldiers as police officers. I will no longer send my kids to these public schools to be indoctrinated into racism, white supremacy. I'll educate them at home. You see how this is going to start to snowball? If they don't give this man justice. Innocent until proven guilty. That's what we all deserve as human beings. That is what you promise on your paperwork. Be true to your word. If you could be true to your word, then you might hang on in there a little while longer, America. You might just happen to hang on in there a little while longer. Now I want to show you something real important. America was Britain's first penal colony. Now, because of the system of racism, white supremacy, they never called it a penal system. If you Google penal system or America's or England's first penal system, which means prison system, it'll show Australia. But that's a slick trick. They didn't send folks to Australia, criminals from England to Australia, until after America supposedly got its freedom from Britain in 1776. America, the colony that was here on this land that we own, the black American, is truly the Aboriginal American. I ain't gonna go off into that too far. You have the name of the channel, hit the bell, hit all, and subscribe. What I'm trying to show you is this. The Americas. You have Canada, North America, South America, and all of the Caribbean islands. That was all considered the Americas. Back before Christopher Columbus came, and then these Europeans came and started chopping things up. Now, I've got a definition pulled up here. I think I do, if I haven't changed it. So what I did is I Googled Britain's first penal colony. And what came up was, like I say, Australia. In after 1776. But check out what I'm finna read to you. And it's Google, and I typed in, what year did England start shipping criminals to America? So you have to play with your wordings when you put this in. I'm gonna read this right here. In 1615, English court began to send convicts to the colony as a way of alleviating England's large criminal population. This practice was unpopular in the colonies. And by 1697, colonial ports refused to accept convicts ships full of convicts. Now, 1615 is when it started. 4 years later, 1619, they started shipping African slaves. I just want you to park that in the back of your mind. Now, the reason they don't want you to know about America being England's first penal colony is, for one, they want to program us and make us think that all the English people who came here were aristocrats. They were good people. They came here with good spirits, and they helped, colonize this place and make the America a better place. When no, a lot of these people came here was criminals. And it is what it is. Now, I said that to say this. When they came here and they started, sending criminals and enslaving the Aboriginal people here, the first slaves on this continent were Indians. They told us they couldn't enslave the Indians, so they had to go get West African slaves. That's a lie, too. Join me on the channel, hit the bell, and hit all. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm rambling, but my point is this. America has always been a penal system. Started as Britain's penal system, but then it transformed into America's penal system. That's why the large majority of people in the jails are still melanated. They look like you and I, because the system is working just the way it was designed. When slavery supposedly ended, and I say supposedly because it never really ended, it just transformed. The new slavery is, well, I'll just tell you what it says. It says slavery is no longer a thing unless you are an inmate, a criminal. Then you can be a slave. So as soon as they did that, they started increasing certain penalties for certain things. Black people could no longer walk around freely. They call you a vagrant and put you in jail and then put you back in the system of slavery. If you look menacing at a white person, that's a criminal offense. Again, you put it. So they just found ways to legally route you back to slavery, And it's you see how you all have been brainwashed and hoodwinked, myself included, until I got some better understanding, Again, people, we have to shake off these blindfolds of ignorance. If you get a chance, if I get a chance, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to put it because this is a live video, and I don't think I've ever gone live. But Ozone's trial is so important, and I've been away so long on some other personal things that I just wanted to come and update you, because a lot of you have supported and continue to support, and I want you to get more of your family members on board to support, so we can bring this man home to his family. But again, the reason it's important for us to understand that we are in a system of racism, white supremacy, and how are you going to understand that today? Again, join my channel, hit the bell, and hit all my other videos. In the description, it'll have a link to Dr. Francis Cress Welson's video, The Cress Theory of Color Confrontation and Racism, White Supremacy. That one video, if you watch the whole thing, it will just dissolve the cobwebs in your mind. And you'll see that you have been completely hoodwinked and lied to. And you'll start to move differently. So join the channel, hit the bell, hit all, so that you could be notified when I go live. We'll make another video. And again, I have not made a video. It's probably been about a year. And I feel bad about that, but sometimes life happens. Sometimes it is what it is. But I'm making some reorganizing some things so that I can continue to educate my people on, one, who you truly are. Because you're not nearly what this white supremacist organization have tried to convince you of who you are. And I'm not going to get all off into that. You know, go to my channel, hit the bell, hit all, so that you'll be notified. And so I'm going to conclude this and simply say this. It's important that Othal Wallace gets a fair trial. You can be a part of that. In fact, you could be a part of history right now today by going and donating to his legal defense fund. This legal defense fund was started because attorneys like Crump would not take this case. Because again, America, the system of racism, white supremacy splits black people down the middle. Your house Negro and your field Negro. You know, the field Negro wants change. He knows something wrong. He wants this system to change. The house Negro don't want change. So when I say Crump didn't want to take this case, it's because he is, in this instance, every other instance he could be something else because it changes per instance. He's a house Negro. He only want to deal with a safe case where the black person has died and there's easy money in it, from my understanding and from what I'm seeing. But this is not about a bag. This is about a person's life. I guarantee you, if something like this was to happen to you, you would not, under any circumstance, not want to have people support you and help bring you home. You understand what I'm saying? You would not want that. Now, what we're doing right now with the People's Legal Aid Project is we've created an opportunity for everyday black people to give to the legal aid of someone who is in these circumstances and situations. You know, and by you participating in this thing, when something happens to you or your family member, you can now get the support you need legally, as opposed to having to be burdened by not having a legal defense and trusting these free attorneys that the court give you, which ain't gonna work for you at all, or people like just money chasers and ambulance chasers. You know, you'll actually have a fighting chance, you know, with a real defense team. You know, so today is homework assignment number 1. Go to othal.org, othal.org, and give. No amount is too small, no amount is too large. If you got deep pockets and you're a celebrity or an actor, or you got a shitload of money and you want a tax write-off, give anonymously. And why do I say anonymously? Because again, a lot of people are afraid to support black issues. Here you can support what's going on, because you know it's the right thing to do in your heart, and not people not know your business. And at the end of the year, you could write that off. You understand what I'm saying? But whoever you are, whatever you could do, do it. Do it today. The trial starts Monday. Stay connected. I'll send updates when I get them, and just follow this case, because again, it's so important that he gets a fair trial and come home to his children. Now again, if he don't, America gonna have hell to pay. They're gonna have hell to pay, because black people are going to withdraw from this evil racist system. That's where it stands. And on that note, I'm going to end this live. Again, you have your homework assignments. Go donate. othal.org. Oh shit, is this still going?